Good morning. I welcome you all to this Youth Parliament session and I hope that this session will be fruitful. Now, the newly elected members will take oath or affirmation.
Ms. Olena, who stands elected from the Thrissur constituency of Kerala, will now take the oath of affirmation. Madam, do you like to take the oath of affirmation? In which language would you like to take the oath?
I, Olena, having been elected as a member of the lower house of the Youth Parliament, do swear in the name of God that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India as by law established, that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India, and that I will faithfully discharge the duty upon which I am about to enter.
Sri Ankit, who stands elected from the Tong constituency of Rajasthan, will now take the oath of affirmation. Sir, do you like to take the oath of affirmation?
Oath, please.
In which language would you like to take the
In
oath?
Hindi, please. मैं अंकित, जो युवा संसद की लोकसभा का सदस्य निर्वाचित हुआ हूँ, मैं ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूँ कि विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत में श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगा और प्रभुसत्ता और एकता भी बनाए रखूंगा। जिस पद को मैं ग्रहण करने वाला हूँ, उस पद का श्रद्धापूर्वक निर्वहन करूंगा।
Honorable members, as we meet today, it is my sad duty to inform the House the demise of our former colleague Sri Kumar on 27 December. He was 68 years old. He was a veteran parliamentarian and was also elected as MP for 4 terms from the Bidul constituency. He also served as a member of Committee on Commerce. He was a great person with a wide knowledge on the country's political setup. He was a driving force for others too. He also worked towards the upliftment of weaker section in our society.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, and the members of the House, I rise to pay my tribute to Sri Kumar, whose demise was a serious blow to this nation. He always worked for the weaker section of the country. He had to suffer a lot during his childhood, and that may be the reason for his association with the poor. His life was a mission. His untimely death is a great loss to this country. I take this opportunity to express my deep condolence to the bereaved family.
It's a great shock for me to know the demise of a honor MP, Sri Kumar, who was holding the MP seat for the long tenure of 20 years. He served for the welfare of the people and strived hard for the upliftment of poor and the weaker section. I pay my sincere tribute to the departed MP and pray to God to bring peace to the departed soul.
The House may stand in silence for a while to express our deep sorrow. Secretary General may now convey the message of condolences to the bereaved family. Now, the Prime Minister will introduce new ministers.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, I have immense pleasure in introducing the new ministers to you and through you to my colleagues. I introduce Mr. Hari Krishna as the Minister of Sports. I am glad to introduce Mr. Adityan as the Minister of Tourism. Also, I introduce Ms. Neha as the Minister of Environment.
Now, we'll take up question hour. Question number 101, Ms. Aditya, please.
Well, the Honorable Minister of Health pleased to state that A. The pandemic situation of COVID-19, which is prevailing all over the country, has taken a life of many common people and has disturbed the entire country. B. What are the precautionary steps taken by the government to prevent the same?
Honorable Health Minister, please.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, it is true that the pandemic situation of COVID-19 has become threat to our country. But I would like to inform the House that there is no negligence from the part of government for spreading this virus. Accidentally, virus reached here from China. Immediately after that, government took emergency steps to control the situation. 1. Lockdown was declared all over the country. 2. All modes of transport were suspended in order to prevent the public movement. 3. COVID protocols were formulated and implemented to public through medias, and government is also collecting the strict implementation of these laws. 4. Free food was provided to all common laborers. 5. For suspected cases, COVID antigen test centers are working at private and public hospitals with free of cost. 7. Government is also collecting COVID reported cases on day-to-day basis. For that, COVID antigen test centers are working at private and public hospitals with free of cost. So, Honorable Speaker, Madam, I am informing the House that government is well prepared and well equipped to face and control the situation. I assure the House that government very soon we will be able to provide COVID vaccine to all the people.
Question number 102, Master Allen, please.
Will the Honourable Minister for Surface Transport be pleased to state A. The reason for improper maintenance of roads in spite of huge collections of road tax. B. What steps the government is going to take for proper maintenance of roads.
Honorable Minister of Surface Transport, please.
Honorable Member, I am aware of the present condition of the roads in our country. As far as the roads are concerned, except national highways, the other roads comes under the jurisdiction of state government, and proper instruction has been given to concerned chief ministers. And they inform me that necessary steps will be taken for the maintenance of the road. Some of them inform me that the maintenance of the road has been taken up to district level, and for each district, one minister has been appointed. But in some cases, maintenance works are not over due to the non-cooperation of the contractors. In some cases, concerned contractors have been blacklisted and new tenders are already issued. The government has also sanctioned a sum of rupees 500 crores for the maintenance of the road. Wherever possible, we are trying to construct and maintain the road through the BOT system. I assure the House that the government will try to maintain and construct the road within a month period.
Now, we'll introduce foreign delegates who are seated in the special gallery. I have a great pleasure to welcome and introduce parliamentary delegation who arrived on 9th of this month. The leader of this delegation is Mr. Davidson. He is the Speaker of Netherlands. I think that India is greatly blessed by his visit. Next member of the delegation is Ms. Elizabeth. She is the leader of the Indian Democratic Party. On behalf of the Indian Parliament, I welcome her. Third member of the delegation is Ms. Angelina. She is also the leader of the peace movement against the oppression of WTO. I also wish them a happy and comfortable stay in India. Question number 103, Master Christian, please.
सुश्री, क्या पेट्रोलियम मंत्री यह बताने का कष्ट करेंगे कि क्या सरकार ने हाल ही में पेट्रोलियम सहित आवश्यक वस्तुओं की कीमतों में वृद्धि की है? यदि हाँ, तो इसका क्या कारण है?
Petroleum Minister, please.
महोदय, इराक में चल रहे गृह युद्ध के कारण अंतर्राष्ट्रीय बाजार में कच्चे तेल के दाम काफी हद तक बढ़ चुके हैं, जिसके परिणाम स्वरूप तेल कंपनियों का घाटा भी बहुत अधिक बढ़ चुका है। इसके अतिरिक्त मैं माननीय सदस्य को ये सूचित करना चाहती हूँ कि पेट्रोल एवं डीजल की कीमतों का निर्धारण बाजार दर के आधार पर किया जाता है, क्योंकि पेट्रोल एवं डीजल की कीमतों को सरकार के द्वारा डीरेगुलेट कर दिया गया है। अध्यक्ष महोदय, मैं आपसे ये कहना चाहती हूँ कि सरकार ने कीमतों में वृद्धि तो की है, किंतु ये वृद्धि विशेष रूप से पेट्रोलियम पदार्थों में की गई है। अन्य वस्तुओं के दामों में ये वृद्धि कदापि नहीं की गई है, और इसका मुख्य कारण है अंतर्राष्ट्रीय बाजार में पेट्रोल एवं डीजल के दामों में आई वृद्धि। मेरे विचार से ये सरकार द्वारा ग्राहकों को समय पर दी जा रही छूट का भी परिणाम है। तेल पूल के घाटे को नियंत्रित करने के लिए मूल्य वृद्धि की गई है।
Any supplementary question?
हाँ,
Master Christian, please.
क्या इस मूल्य वृद्धि से हमारी अर्थव्यवस्था बुरी तरह प्रभावित हुई है अथवा नहीं? क्या इस मूल्य वृद्धि से पहले सरकार ने सभी पहलुओं पर विचार किया था? क्या सरकार ने इस बात पर भी विचार किया था कि देश में पड़ रहे भयंकर सूखे की स्थिति में इस मूल्य वृद्धि का समाज के निम्न तथा मध्यम वर्ग के लोगों पर क्या प्रभाव पड़ेगा?
श्रीमान कृष्ण के प्रश्न के उत्तर में मैं ये कहना चाहती हूँ कि सरकार ने अर्थव्यवस्था के सभी पहलू पर विचार किया है। ये फैसला हमारे मंत्रिमंडल के द्वारा लिया गया है। उन्होंने निम्न तथा मध्यम वर्ग के लोगों की आवश्यकता को पूरा ध्यान रखा है। उनकी आवश्यकता को ध्यान में रख के निम्न कदम उठाए गए हैं। पहला कदम, पेट्रोल पदार्थों में हुई भारी वृद्धि के बावजूद भी जन परिवहन निगम के किराए में कोई भी वृद्धि नहीं की गई है। दूसरा कदम, आयकर दाताओं को जन सामान्य दर पर राशन वितरित किया जा रहा है। तीसरा कदम, सरकार एलपीजी पर आज भी 70% सब्सिडी दे रही है। चौथा कदम, सरकार डीजल के डबल प्राइसिंग के मूल्य पर विचार कर रही है।
Question number 104, Ms. Meera Krishna, please.
Will the Honorable Minister of Women and Child Development please to state that A. Why the cases of violence against women are steadily increasing in the country? According to the National Crime Record Bureau, in India, there is at least one dowry death every 78 hours, one act of sexual harassment every 59 minutes, one rape every 34 minutes, one act of torture every 12 minutes, and at least one in every 3 married women face domestic violence. B. What steps the government has taken to prevent this violence?
Honorable Minister of Women and Child Development, please.
Ma'am, violence against women is on national agenda. Government is making frantic efforts to find solutions. The gender-based violence that threatens the well-being, dignity and rights of women extends across social, cultural, economic and regional boundaries. Some of the domestic legal remedies already existing in India are: number 1. As per Article 21, the difference in treatment between men and women by the state is totally prohibited on grounds of religion, race, caste, sex or place of birth. Number 2. The court defines sexual harassment at workplace as any unwelcome gesture, behavior, words, or advances that are sexual in nature. Number 3. The National Commission for Women was set up as a statutory body in January 1992 under the National Commission for Women Act 1990. Number 4. The Protection for Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005 was an act enabled by the Parliament of India to protect women from domestic violence. Number 5. The Dowry Prohibition Act, DPA 1961 applies to all people, Hindus, Muslims, Christians, Parsis and Jews. Giving or taking of dowry is an offence which is punishable.
Any supplementary question? Ms. Meera Krishna.
Honorable Speaker, the Government of India had set up a fund called Nirbhaya Fund for the implementation of initiatives aimed at enhancing the safety and security for women in the country. But this fund is not utilized properly.
Honorable Minister of Women and Child Development.
1. Stop Sender OSC scheme under the Nirbhaya Fund aims to facilitate women affected by violence with a range of integrated services under one roof, such as police facilitation, medical aid, providing legal and psychosocial counseling, and temporary shelter.
Honorable Member, please maintain the decorum of the House.
Sorry, madam.
Honorable Member.
Under the OSC scheme, funds were released and utilized by all the people, states and union territories of the country. Our ministry will ask the states to file detailed expenditure report on the fund utilized. For providing speedy assistance and services to distressed and violence-affected women and OSCs, the ministry has decided to set up more OSCs at areas which are distant from district headquarters or are having high rates of crimes against women. Honorable members, I assure the House that the government will provide safe and comfortable life for women.
Ms. Arsha, do you wish to say something?
Honorable Speaker, Madam, I was detained by the police on the way to attend the Youth Parliament because of my association with the workers of unorganized sector who were staging a peaceful dharna demanding better wages and fixed working hours. And it happened that I just went there to inquire into the matter. A serious breach of privilege was committed because I was debarred by the police to discharge my duties as a member of Youth Parliament. I warn that the matter may be referred to the Privilege Committee.
Honorable Member, have you given a notice of it earlier? You may give due notice along with the newspaper cutting and I shall consider it. You cannot spring a surprise on me like this.
I have already given the notice of it at 10 a.m. today.
It will be examined when it comes to me. I shall consider it and let you know my decision.
Okay, Madam.
Now, papers to be laid on the table. I request the Honorable Agriculture Minister to lay on the table a copy of annual report of the State Farm Corporation.
Madam, I beg to lay on the table a copy of the following papers under subsection 1, 6199 of the Companies Act 1956. 1. Review by the government on the working on the State Farm Corporation of India Limited, New Delhi for the year 2021-22. 2. Annual report on the State Farm Corporation of India Limited, New Delhi for the year 2021-22 along with audited accounts and comments of the Comptroller and the Auditor General.
Now, we'll take up the calling attention motion. Ms. Shivaranjani and Ms. Avani will now call the attention of the Minister of Home Affairs towards the spreading of drug and narcotics.
Ma'am, I beg to call the attention of the Minister of Home Affairs to the situation arising out due to spreading menace of drugs and narcotics, which are degenerative to the nation, especially the younger generation. I would like to know what are the steps taken by the government to control the situation.
Yes, Minister of Home Affairs, please.
Honorable Speaker, ma'am, drug addiction is one of the greatest problems confronting our country today. It is weakening the country and destroying our youth. It is now rampant in small towns, even in villages along the length and breadth of the country. Once addicted, it's almost impossible to give up the habit. Children finally end up even resorting to crime to get the money to buy these drugs. Ma'am, I feel that the main reason for the increase in drugs within our country is because it has become a center for international drug trafficking. Following actions are taken by the government as a solution to this problem. Number 1, the existing penalty under the law is too less. The punishment for such offense should be made more severe, and the government plans to take steps to amend the existing laws. Number 2, the government will ensure that drugs are not smuggled into the country through our international borders. Our country should not be made as a center through which drugs are smuggled to other countries also. Number 3, rehabilitation centers are established throughout the country to give proper treatment to the drug addicts. Number 4, funds are released to each state government to conduct various awareness programs and welfare measures to prevent the drug addictions in the society. Number 5, arrangements are made to link the excise department and the police department with that of various educational institutions to have a better monitoring system. And finally, number 6, more counseling centers are established by the voluntary organization, and it is already been set up in most of the areas.
Ms. Shivaranjani.
Ms. Speaker, Madam, Honorable Home Minister spoke about the punishments given to drug traffickers. I fully agree with him that the punishment given is too less. I'm sorry that these people are let off lightly. I think there should be some justice. I feel that one can even forgive a smuggler or a thief, but I don't think anyone can forgive a drug peddler. Ma'am, I think the drug pusher spoils health, wealth, and character. This loss of character will lead to moral degeneration, take out our country backwards. As Honorable Minister told that proper measures are taken by the government, but drug trafficking through sea routes in the Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal is estimated to account for around 70% of the total illegal drugs smuggled into India. Most of the drug seizures are sourced from the ports of Afghanistan and Iran, which are destined to coastal states in India. Among the big drug hauls by Indian agencies, it's the largest ever of 2,988 kg of Afghan heroin worth 21,000 crore by the Directorate of Revenue and Intelligence at Mudrapur in September 2021. The increased use of couriers or postal services are also directly linked to increased dark web activities in India. Major trafficking of heroin in India takes place through Indo-Pakistan border, Punjab and Jammu Kashmir. From these border states, heroin is further trafficked into other states. Why our customs and excise departments are not able to check this trafficking for? There is a need to form a task force which can focus on all syndicates, big or small, involved in cross-border smuggling of all kinds of drugs, as well as the distribution networks. I request the government to come up with a plan to overcome these problems.
Ms. Avani.
Honorable Speaker, Madam. Honorable Minister, in a speech, has informed that a good number of council centers are working in the country. Councillors are trained to develop recovery programs that help to re-establish the healthy behavior and to provide coping strategies whenever a situation of risk happens. But madam, it is found that the councillors are not well trained and are not capable to perform their duties. Drug addicts are facing barriers in drug treatment include absence of problem, negative social support, privacy concerns, time conflict, poor treatment and admission difficulty. Other barriers include high cost and lack of tailored programs to address specific needs. Despite ongoing efforts to combat addiction, there has been evidence of clinics billing patients for treatment that may not guarantee their recovery. This is a major problem as there are numerous claims of frauds in rehabilitation centers where these centers are billing insurance companies for under-delivering much needed specific needs of the medical treatment. There are 4 categories of people involved in drug trafficking: the producer, the transporter, the street peddler, and lastly, the actual consumer. It is the street peddler who is apprehended, tried, and punished, and the other 2, the producer and the transporter, are allowed to go scot-free because they are well hidden. People convicted of minor drug offences may be sentenced to rehabilitation centers instead of prison. This will help the drug addicts to recover fastly. So, I want to know what steps the government is going to take in this regard.
Honorable Minister of Home Affairs, please.
Honorable Speaker, ma'am, I congratulate Ms. Avani as well as the other honorable members who focused at the altar of public opinion on one of the vital social and health issues faced by our country today. The purpose of my intervention is only to place before the House the various efforts made by the various departments of the government to combat this serious menace. Ma'am, I would like to submit that this government, which brought about the historic piece of legislation, that is the Narcotic Drugs and Substances Act 1985. Ma'am, this act enhances the punishment of rigorous imprisonment from 10 to 20 years and a fine of rupees 2 lakhs for the first time. Rewards for the informers has also been increased from 10 to 20%. Special cells have been established in all the customs and collectorates across the country. For securing India's coast, several coastal police stations have been established and provided with interceptor boats and other vehicles to intensify vigilance along the coast and seas. An expert committee has even constituted by the Health Ministry, and I am happy to announce on behalf of the government that we have launched a national drug addiction program under the auspices of Health Ministry. The Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment has prepared a national action plan for drug demand reduction for the period of 2018 to 25. This plan focuses on prevention education, counseling, etc. Special squads have been created to prevent high bills charged by the private hospitals and insurance companies. I would like to inform the members that rehabilitation centers are available in the government hospital at free of cost. Various types of programs offer help in drug rehabilitation, which includes residential treatment, local support groups, recovery and sober house, mental health, and medical care. I would like to call upon the political parties to start mass movement in the country. Movements involving students, youth, women, and other public organizations to come forward and help the government fighting the score of drug abuse, which has the potential to disrupt the social fabric of my country.
Now, legislative bill will be taken up. I request the Honourable Labour Minister to introduce the bill to further amend Employees Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Act of 1952 in Indian Penal Code.
Madam, I beg to move for leave of the House to introduce a bill to further amend the Employees Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provision Act 1952 in Indian Penal Code.
The question is that leave be granted to the Minister of Labour to introduce the bill to further amend Employees Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Act of 1952 in Indian Penal Code. Now, those who are in favour will please say ayes.
Ayes.
And those against will say no.
No.
I think the ayes have it, and the ayes have it. Labour Minister, please.
I introduce the bill.
Now, we'll take up the prohibition of Hartal and Bandh Bill 2022. I request the Home Minister to move the motion.
I beg to move the prohibition on Hartal and Bandh Bill 2022 may be taken into consideration because this bill will enable the common people of the country to have a peaceful life without any fear and depression. Ma'am, the House is aware of the fact that Hartals and Bandhs are becoming common now and then. Mostly it is declared suddenly just few hours before, which causes a lot of disturbance to all. Sometimes Hartals takes away the precious lives of innocent people. In the name of Hartal, public and private properties are being damaged largely. The government is also losing crores of rupees due to Bandh. Therefore, with a view to provide more severe punishment to those who call for unnecessary Hartals and Bandhs, the government has brought forward this bill before the August Forum. The bill has the following features. Number 1, anyone who indulges himself in damaging properties in the name of Hartal will be convicted for a period of 5 years. Number 2, if the Hartal called by the political parties becomes violent, according to the bill, the recognition of the party will get cancelled. Number 3, this bill provides full power to the police to arrest the people, those who are involved in antisocial activities during the Hartal. Number 4, this bill will help to prevent clashes among the students in the educational institutions. And number 5, this will also lay down procedures for setting up of special courts and appointment of public prosecutors. Honourable Speaker, ma'am, I am confident that all the members of the House, irrespective of party affiliation, will welcome this bill wholeheartedly so that this bill will help to ban and control unexpected Hartals and Bandhs. With these words, I now move that the prohibition on anti-Hartal Bill 2022 to be taken into consideration.
Master Niranjan, please.
Honourable Madam, I rise to support this bill. The undesirable incident which took place recently during Hartals were widely criticized by all. There are incidents where many innocent people were killed by the Hartal supporters. Earlier, Hartals were once in a blue moon. Today, it has become a day-to-day activity. This is mainly because of the Hartals called by various political parties one after another. The functioning of government offices and institutions are paralyzed mainly because of the non-availability of vehicles which are blocked by the Hartal supporters. Many passengers and tourists are upheld in airports and railway stations and they have to spend the whole day without food and no place to take rest. Recently, one lady died on the way because her ambulance was blocked by the Hartal supporters. In the name of Hartals, people have forgotten the human relation and they even don't give value for human lives also. So in my opinion, such activities must be brought to an end. With these words, I strongly support this bill. I am also thankful to you for having given me an opportunity to speak on it. Thank you.
Master Vishnudev.
I and my members of my party strongly oppose this bill. This bill will seek away our fundamental rights like right to equality, right to form association, right to move anywhere in this country. The government wants to misuse their power and money. For this, it is an indirect method to suppress the opposition members. The government is afraid that Hartal will help the people to gather together and oppose the government for the wrongful movements. Our father of our nation, Mahatma Gandhi, had launched so many hartals in the form of non-cooperation movements and civil disobedience against the British rule, even though the authorities never made a law to ban hartal. So my question is, why the government is moving ahead with this bill? In the name of this bill, the government is forcefully trying to impose it to the citizens of the country by curbing the fundamental rights. So I am the strict opinion that this bill should not be passed at any cost. I request all the members of the House to oppose this bill strongly. I also thank this Honourable Speaker for giving me the opportunity to speak on this occasion.
Now, the Prime Minister will intervene in the debate.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, as the Home Minister in his introductory speech told that this bill is an attempt to ban hartals to avoid constraints created by PIT to the common people. The poor section of the society is the worst affected group, and the laborers are unable to take up any work, and the day becomes dreadful to them. In some cases, they have to go without food as their earning is very less. In educational institutions, where student organizations are calling for hartal on regular basis, thus disturbing the academic activities. As you know that, the Honorable High Court of Kerala has banned ban through a verdict, and it has already brought relief to the people. But now, the bans are observed in the name of hartals, and there is no law on banning hartals. So I feel that this bill is most urgently required. So at the end, I would like to request all members to extend their full cooperation in passing this bill.
Master Vaishnav, please.
I feel that this bill is in the step of right direction, and the government should be congratulated for bringing it in front of the House. But madam, what is painful is that this legislation is full of flaws. This bill provides extraordinary powers to the police, and even they can arrest them and put them into jail without trial. This is a sort of military rule, and it will snatch away the political freedom of our people. So this is my objection against this bill. But I also suggest that vigilance committees should be formed at village levels so that hartals can be effectively countered. Social workers and political leaders must be included as its members. Therefore, I suggest the idea of bringing forward such a bill. At the same time, it should be properly amended before it is passed.
Now, the question is that bill to prevent hartals and ban in order to secure the safety and security of the people to be taken into consideration. Those who in favor will say ayes. Ayes. And those against will say no. No. I think the ayes have it, and the ayes have it. Now the question is that clause 2 to 10 stands part of the bill. There is one amendment by Ms. Abrami. Are you moving it?
No, madam. In view of the reply given by the minister, I am not pressing my amendment.
I think those who are in favor will say ayes. Ayes. And those against will say no. No. I think the ayes have it, and the ayes have it. That clause 2 to 10 stands part of the bill. Now the question is that the clause 1, the enacting formula and title stands part of the bill. Those who are in favor will please say ayes. Ayes. And those against will please say no. No. I think the ayes have it, and the ayes have it. Home Minister, please.
Ma'am, I move the bill be passed.
Motion moved that the bill is passed. Those who are in favor will please say ayes. Ayes. And those against will say no. No. I think the ayes have it, and the ayes have it. The motion is adopted. The House is adjourned for the next day till 11 a.m.